Hi guys, this is Nikki, you also known as Physics Trader, and you're watching November 3, 2020 for the Awesome 10X Global Market Update. Let's begin. Actually, it's November 3, so everyone's aware that it's election week today. Actually, tonight is going to be November 3, so it's going to be elections in USA. We're on the eve of elections, and there has been volatility in the market. However, there has been very strong movement in some companies. Let me discuss which companies have been very strong. You can see that Geely Auto has gone from about 15.4. Now it's trading at 18.94. That would be your first resistance. However, we would advise you to hold on to it, as typically most of the EVs phenomenon we think will go 3x or 4x. So assuming this started about $10, I do see that GD Auto can go as high as $30. GD Auto is a company that we like in the Chinese EV vehicle, as well as the 1211, just as much as we like your what's this? Just we like your XPEV and Neo. And actually, I have to say that I wasn't an early believer of Neo, but congratulations to those who have Neo. And I've been looking at it, and although I'm late, I would say that on any dips, maybe if it goes down 20, 30, 40% lower, I'll see if I can get back. I'll see if I can get in. However, no problem, Botso, because we've got the names like BYD, who's gone from 50 to now 170, and of course 1211, who's gone from about $17 to as high as 19, 16, 17, now to 19, and we think it's gonna go higher. So BYD, we got this, and still keeping it. Okay, so 175, we do have this. These are our Chinese vehicles, Chinese electric vehicles. So we don't have Neo, but Neo has gone from about $2 to now $33. Of course, it came from $2 because of bankruptcy fears during that time. I'd argue that the bankruptcy fear was gone at about 10, 12, 13, and that was the breakout here of 13.50. Now it's trading at 33, very high. However, I'd say that wait out for Neo near 28 below, if it will go down. Now, chances are if NEO doesn't go down, then it's okay because we've got other electric vehicles, which will also go higher. So in the electric vehicles front, that would be Chinese EVs, but I would share that, of course, RC Moto and Tesla are names that we continue to own. FUV is now trading at 574. We feel that this drop at about $5.10, $5.20 was unwarranted. So yeah, so we kept on buying and selling this one. And any dips near 6 below is actually a buying area. Any rises back to about 720, 750, we do take some profits, but we never sell all. So because I do think that this is a long-term uptrend. RC Moto is part of our coverage in the EV sector, just as we did cover 1211, 175, and XPEV. So as you know, Chinese vehicles worldwide have been jumping 100 to 200% growth. And I think that this is an accumulation point for XPeng from about $18 to $20, 21. You've got a lot of accumulators here for a move higher, maybe $100 to $200 in the next 5 to 10 years. Also, I'd want to share a few things that I've learned about Ant IPO. So for the Ant IPO, I'm going to just share to you a few bits and things about it. So the thing about Jack Ma is that, of course, he's very much known as being persistent and ceaseless ambition. Ant's Alipay product came about 2003. So he started that business 17 years ago. And to compare Ant Alipay's product, if you compare that with PayPal, PayPal has been processing $712 billion in 2019. However, Alipay saw $17 trillion move through it. So you've got to divide that by 7, but it tells you that's about 17 trillion is about somewhere about 2.3 billion dollars. So that's about 3 times larger than PayPal, and it makes you wonder how much money AntPay generates. So of course, for those who aren't in the know, Jack Ma, before being Jack Ma, has of course been a teacher, as you well know, English teacher. He founded his Alibaba, funded by his family and friends around for $60,000 in 1999. You would have heard that $20 million was plowed by the famous Masayoshi Son at $100 million valuation. Somewhere at about, I'm not sure if I can't remember if it was year 2000 something when Jack Ma partnered with Masayoshi Son for the eventual Alibaba. Nonetheless, Crazy Jack. That was his nickname. Has always been with Ant Financial, and this is the mighty Ant. You could see that the Ant grew more manic than what anyone in Alibaba would have foreseen. Alipay was a small but significant feature, especially an escrow account between customers and merchants interacting on Alibaba's core site. In 2014, Alipay was rebranded as an Ant Group, raising $4.5 billion of outside capital during that year. Today, 6 years after 2014, it already has 1.3 billion users spanning wealth management, insurance, payment processing, and beyond. From a digital payment perspective, it was launched already 16 years ago. Alipay was allowing merchants to transact with consumers both on and offline. So online, it was going to be using through Alipay app, the Alipay e-wallet, and the transaction will be done instantly without passing through any bank. So it was like a bank. Users were leveraging Alipay to scan a merchant's QR code and the Alipay e-wallet QR code scan. This was a common thing. Do you want me to scan or should I scan you? Merchants can receive payment via the app or POS terminals. For those who aren't in the know, Square and StoneCo and pretty much everything in Western was actually a copycat of Chinese digital, right? So of course, this is Alipay, digital payments. You've got so many ancillary services around it. When you have trillions of money in the wallet passing through, you can offer insurance, you can offer technology, insurtech. You can help them invest their money through Chinese mutual funds. You can also tell them to buy Alibaba shares or Ant Group shares, and of course, credit tech, Huapay, Ziepay. So there's also a lot of things that you can do with your Alipay. You can use it to book a flight ticket. You can book an international car hailing. You can also order Fresh Epo. That would be their grocery food supermarket. You can also order movie tickets. You can also order LME, which is their delivery app. So essentially, the heart and core of the entire Alibaba was, in a way, Ant Group Alipay. And sorry, that's a different topic. I'll share what I mean with this one later. But these are all thanks to Mario. I shared the article. All of these things that I'm sharing to you comes from the prospectus, but also comes from analysis made by Mario, the generalist, if you follow him on Substack. Yeah, he made a good article. He called it the ant infestation. And yeah, he has these. So I understand everything that he was saying about it. Location based, you can scan, you can pay. Everything that you do, whether you're doing food delivery. So for those Filipinos who are listening to me, basically Jollibee partnered with Alibaba's LME food delivery app to help them. So example, you're ordering pizza or in Jollibee's case, you're ordering Hong Chuang Yuan or Yong He King beef noodles. Chances are you're paying it through an Alipay. The fact that 1.3 billion users and 17 trillion, it means that it's easy to math it, guys. 17 trillion is like 17,000 divided by 1.3. So math it out. That means that every person out there is spending something like 17,000, so something like 15,000 yuan or about 100,000 pesos. But that's tama ba? 17 trillion. 1.3 billion, 17,000 divided by 1.3 is roughly 10,000, right? 10, 11,000. Mga 12,000 yuan. Times that to 7 for a Philippine peso equivalent, you've got about 80,000 pesos. That's annually. Yeah, because you're paying your friend, you're buying something on Alibaba, you're buying an insurance. It's a huge payment volume, if you'll ask me. Now, of course, because you've got that total money float, Ant Financial has served a lot of things for Chinese people. It has been a microfinancing platform with approximately 98% of the credit balance originating through the platform, underwritten and securitized. So it's actually a marketplace typically for small and medium businesses or consumers in lower tier cities, credit tech. So this is the consumer credit. So this is Ant Group. And they have a partner bank, and then that would be underwriting securities in order to have a credit risk approach with 100 credit assessment models. So the nice thing about Alibaba's Alipay group is that since they know everything about you, what your zip code is, they can actually ascertain your social class. If you live in, say, a very posh province, or if you live in a very if you live in a posh city versus a province, so they'll have an idea how much your average income is. That is the power of data. And of course, they can assess your financial stability based on your occupation, how much you're spending in a month, how much you're sending, because that data is all inside. So those are the things that are quite unique in this kind of insurance product or credit lending program. And you could see that the daily interest rate is about 0.03%, which is about 1% a month or about 12% a year. Not bad. And the average loans were paid off in 3 months. Often unsecured and flexible loan with instant drawn down. So it's really like a bank if you think about it. My bank is a partly owned subsidiary of Ant Group. It's a very crucial player providing loans of the 310 principle. Borrowers will complete their online loan application in 3 minutes, obtain an approval in 1 second with zero human interaction. It's just really AI. Pretty nifty. It relies on data, privacy, trading for cash. Reality is that most small and medium businesses have no reasonable alternative. Many operate small Taobao shops or rural farmers without a credit history. So technically, Ant Group is now serving the unbanked. So for most cryptocurrency people, they usually say, let's save the unbanked, let's save the unbanked. The reality is you don't need crypto when you have Ant Financial because Gcash does that, Ant Group does that. For the Filipinos, you know that Gcash is Globe Cash, but actually that's Ant Group. Globe is just like a partner, but the reality is it's really Ant Group that powers up everything in Philippines, but in this case, Philippines, China, and so forth. So it's really a good company, if you'll ask me. Typical credit line approval process, this is Ant Group, so you'll get the credit request, partner financial institutions, buying small businesses, etc., etc. So it's like a bank. I'd say that this is the most powerful bank in the world. Second, maybe to WeChat. In China, they are really the financial system. It's either you're using WeChat or you're using Alipay. And both of them profit immensely from that float. What will I do with so much money in the wallet? I will use it to borrow and lend money for people, right? So, and that's how Alipay makes a ton of money from ancillary services and much more than just a normal payment thing. If you can think about it, Ant Financial is a more advanced PayPal, more advanced than Square. It's more advanced than Western counterparts. We have to be honest. Who's better? Alipay and WeChat are far better than the Western counterparts like PayPal or Square, etc., etc. So actually, they have to be following China rather than China following them. More content and services, curated product recommendations, and you can see why it makes sense for them to also offer insurance, given that your money is there. So they can also include health insurance, pension options. How Yipao, good doctor security is a lifetime cancer protection. It's the very first health insurance product in China, guaranteed to be renewable for the lifetime of the policy holder with an annual premium starting at 13 yuan, at 1891 or about $13. Data is the true superpower. I agree with that. With meta trillions of transactions powering the Ant machine. So this is actually one of, in my view, one of Alibaba's greatest superpowers, which is their data and the Alipay. So the digital payment service is very critical in attracting a large number of users. Alipay platform generates powerful and network effect, providing us with a strong competitive advantage. So you could see that payments is the biggest pie, but the ancillary services are going larger and larger and typically higher margin and more important. So you've got the credit insurance, the insurance, the investment. Credit is back like loan. Investment is they can offer mutual funds to these Chinese people. Since your money is there, how about you buy an Alibaba share? Or how about you buy a Tencent share? Or how about you buy JD, all of the tech companies of China, which are all awesome 10x picks as well, by the way. Insurance, etc., and innovation. So I think that this is good. Just trivia, for those who aren't in the know, Elon Musk said in 2017 that the Tesla logo actually comes from that electric motor cross-section. I just wanted to share that things that didn't exist 10 years ago, of course, Cash App, that's Square, but things that didn't exist 10 years ago would be Alipay. And Alipay is a truly multifaceted business. And yeah, so, and of course, this one I didn't share a while ago why I put this. Um, I just wanted to emphasize that Awesome 10X, of course, believes in gaming trends, and so far, Apple and Google are the gateways for people to download all those mobile games. If you're downloading something like a Unity game, you're downloading a game. It was made by Unity engine. Chances are, if it's mobile, chances are 53% of all the mobile games are made via Unity engine. So if you're playing like League of Legends Wild Rift, yes, Tencent makes money, but also Apple makes money from there if you are using an iOS phone. So if you think about it, the gaming revenues of iPhone at all is about something like $6 to $16 billion, or about more than $10 billion in just Q3 2020. And Google Play made something like $9 to $10 billion. So if you could see it, the biggest pie of all the revenues on the Apple App Store and the Google Play is usually gaming rather than non-gaming. So for those who aren't aware, of course, Apple is now trading at about. Take note that Apple had a 4:1 stock split. So the $100 today is $400. You have to think, would you have bought Apple at $400 given that it was just $200 last year, or double, right? It's about 100% higher this year. I'd say that personally, I'd prefer getting it below 100. But for those who really want it, yeah, at about 90 or 100, it's okay. It's not like super. It's not a 10x. I'll tell you what. It's not a 10x company. But for people who just want something stable, yeah. So I just wanted you to know the data. Yeah. So that's just data. There's more for me to share to you. People are asking, well, anti-IPO, okay, they like it. How could they avail of anti-IPO? The anti-IPO listing date, so let's take a look at those numbers. Ant Group is pricing the Shanghai listed shares at 68 yuan, and its Hong Kong shares would be at 80 Hong Kong dollars. It's going to be listed on November 5. That would be 2 days from now at Hong Kong. So you're not going to buy it in the US, it's going to be in Hong Kong. Brace for a post-euphoric Ant-IPO swoon. Kajana stands to earn a handsome windfall from Ant-IPO. Ant Group will trade at a 50% premium in Hong Kong's gray market. It is one of the world's biggest IPO. It's going to be trading at about $380 billion market cap. Alibaba Online Finance spinoff, which is offering in China a one-stop shop for loans, investments, and more. So it's like a everything app. And if you think about it, that's what Grab in the Philippines wants to be as well. It's like the everything you can get a Grab taxi. You can also get the Grab food, but also what they want is to be everything for you. So in China, that's what Alipay and WeChat are. It's almost everything. Like 95% of every transaction is happening out there. It's a duopoly, if you ask me. And it's a fintech move, and people like this trillions of dollars. How much did Ant Financial earn? They said that they earned about $2.7 billion in profit. The reason why they made $18 billion in revenue is because in digital payments, they take a 0.1% cut on this digital payment. So every time I move, let's say, a $100 there, they take a 10 centavo or 0.1. That is their cut. So if it's 17 trillion, that means $17 billion in revenue. So that's really just how to think about it. Yeah, so I think that the company is great. However, baka maging snowflake na naman to, 100% higher on the market, so paano natin bibilhin? So typically, guys, the thing about IPOs is that it's kind of kupal. Hindi naman di mo makakuha yung mga local retailers. Parang when it lists in the market, nakasiling na 50% na yung gray market, no? So, I mean, I just shared it because it's a great company, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy it when it lists in the market. But it's good. Like, I think it's a good company. No comments. Let me take a look. Let me share to you a few things on the portfolio side, no? So there's a lot of volatility in the market, but I wanted you to know that that volatility is your opportunity. As you can see, so I was saying Bluebird was a great entry at about 140 to 150. So you want to enter that. YY was a free Friday class pick. We mentioned that at about $80 below. So far it's 95, so it's already 20% up from our free Friday class pick. Justin Tam said, ARK Invest likes Unity also. I think this can be a good investment play, just waiting for a good entry price. Unity is a company that we already own, and we have been averaging up on Unity. Um, we typically put as much as 5 to 15% of our portfolio on a company if we really like it. So far Unity is yeah, we just kept on adding on Unity. Uh yeah. I wanted to share to you that yesterday's biggest news would be the profile of Chinese vehicles. So super rampage was Neo. Neo stock rockets our toward after the October deliveries. Wanted to share that our Xpeng delivered great numbers as well, 229% year over year. So total delivery so far is already 17,000 units, up 64% year over year. Monthly revenues, monthly deliveries exceeded 3,000 units for 2 consecutive months. So yeah, I would say that there's a ton of great companies, especially in the world. So it's something that you would want to invest in, and in my view, hold it for about 5 to 10 years, so that you could really get that secular S curve, especially for the EVs. Gary Tansuk said, if you're going long, in example, years long, now is a good time to buy. Agree. In my view, I've already averaged up on Unity, and I really don't have a problem buying even at 95, even as high as 97. So because the chances are, if you wait too long, especially in the US, no, they don't really give great companies too low. That's why even at 67, automatically the second day we already got in. I shared Ant Financial because it really depends on the person, right? So if you believe in fintech, even if it's already expensive at $380 billion, so I don't think it's a 10x there. Maybe you'd make 1x or 2x or 3x on Ant Financial. So I wouldn't pay like 100% if I think like it's 1x in the next 5 years, right? But if I could get that near the IPO price of 80 Hong Kong, then I'd like to get in. But I think that it's fat chance, given that gray market is already predicting a 50% pop on the first day of listing. So it's probably gonna be similar to Snowflake, like it's already up 100% on opening day. So chances are I won't chase it anymore. I wanted to share as well that these past few days, we've seen actually FASI go down 50% from its peak of about 140. It's now trading at about a more attractive $60 to $70. For those who aren't in the know, FASI has helped people stay better connected with the things they love. FASI's Edge Cloud platform enables customers to create digital experiences quickly, securely, reliably, securing customer apps at the edge of the internet. So if the future of the internet has always been with companies like Vimeo, Pinterest, New York Times, GitHub, Shopify, all of them are using Fastly. So I think that you want to have a look at this company. Take a look at the events and presentation. So yours truly bought some Fastly recently at about 63. I actually shared it even as high as 68. So last night I said for November 2020, if I could get Fastly at 64, 63.8. I mean, guys, I just tried to make a number of 8. So like it's all 8. So Unity at 88, Shopify at 888, Facebook at 248, Spotify at 228, C Limited at 138, FUV, which is RC Moto at 508, CrowdStrike at 11, at 118, and Fasi at 63.8. These are 8 companies that I would love to own on November if I get them at that attractive number. But actually, guys, I'm not too superstitious. I like the companies. I already hold them. I own them already. But I'll be willing to add on to them if I can. So Fastly is actually a company that had also partnered with Signal Sciences on August 27, 2020. The transaction was happening through $200 million in cash and had $575 million of Fastly's common stock. They accelerate the adoption of Compute Edge, and it's the next generation security solution for developers by developers with an attractive financial profile of 85% gross margin. Fastly has about 56, 58% gross margin. So it's actually a SaaS company, a software as a service business, which is really using the Edge and cloud platform to deliver, compute, and secure those web apps and APIs. So the vision is speed, mission, customer focus, things that we all like. Signal Sciences was acquired, $28 million of recurring revenue, with already 60 plus enterprise customers with a 96% gross retention rate. That was done on August 27, 2020. Yeah, this was a good acquisition in my view. I'm gonna share a few things from their letter last 3Q 2020. So a couple of weeks ago, Joshua Bixby, the CEO, actually shared that even without TikTok, they've already got some great customers, and they believe that they have a fundamentally better platform, fundamentally better business model. I'm gonna just share to you the things why I was willing to buy Fastly on a 50% drop, even if it's already up 500% from the March lows. So strong business fundamentals are driving continued demand. Of course, great strength, 42% up on their revenues. Dollar-based net expansion rate is up from 137% in Q2. It's now 147%. That is one of the highest net. It's not net retention, it's net expansion, meaning the customers love it so much that they actually increase their revenue. So example, if you were paying $10 last year, you're paying about $14.7 this year. So that tells you pricing command of power. Great stuff that I like in an awesome tennis company. Last 12 months, it was also a net retention rate of 141%, very strong. Customer account was actually increasing from about 1951 to 2045, 2047. Total enterprise was actually growing from 304 to 313. An average of these enterprise spending are approximately $753,000. So that's a huge enterprise that's spending on Fastly. Enterprise customers have a huge gross margin of about 58%, generating 88%. It's consistent with their Q2 2020. All of these numbers are good. And the reason why I like it was because I don't need to pay $120 because today I'm willing to pay only at $65. I think one of the best businesses to own would be Fastly. So while it's cheap, I'm a buyer. So yeah, oops, sorry, FSLY. So this is a part of one of my November picks. November 2020 and October 30, 2020, I shared that I like Fastly at these levels. So after that 54% drop, even if it goes down, I couldn't care less. It's going to be in my part of my long-term portfolios. And I always tell people that I buy to hold it for about 5 to 10 years. So I have really no plans to sell it. Even if Fastly goes down $60, I couldn't care less. So yeah, there's a lot more to actually read up. So actually, you could see that I've been trying to check on Fastly. Everything that you wanted to know about a company, you can actually just check in their investor presentation. So this one is their event presentation. Who is Fastly? It's an API edge cloud platform. Momentum at a glance, the Fastly numbers, the revenues, the number of customers. So these are companies that I would be happy to hold for about 5 to 10 years. And currently, all of your companies in the world are using Fastly, whether it be TEDx, whether it be Pinterest, Slack, Shopify, Google, Microsoft, Khan Academy, GitHub, New York Times, Vimeo, Etsy, Stripe. So all of these are all customers of Fastly. So you can understand more about CDNs and the edge. So this is the legacy. They said that Akamai and all of them are legacy platforms like CDNs. They have to be using Edge Cloud, which is Edge Cloud, like from London, New York, end-to-end developer control. So global network, 55 markets, 100 terabytes per second. So yeah, programmable edge. They say that Akamai, Limelight are all legacy CDNs. The centralized clouds are Azure. They're all using CDNs like Fastly. So in my view, I believe them. So I would use I would want to have some Fastly in the portfolio, and I want you to actually study some of these presentation. You can actually read more on their company website. um, Not a lot of questions. So guys, thank you very much for all of for listening. Please do like the channel and have a quick peek on awesome10x.com. Please go to awesome10x.com and please subscribe if you love our channel, and subscribe our channel. It's for free here on YouTube. If you wish to go on our Awesome 10x classes, do go to the website awesome10x.com for in-depth deep dives of companies that we believe will 10x your money in at least a decade or even less. So that's it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Have an awesome 10x day.